Let's hear the thoughts of Anne Lebreton, Deputy Mayor of Paris. Anne, great to have you on the show with us. Thank you so much for joining. There's no doubt that this is a setback for Emmanuel Macron, but just how much of a setback is it for his economic reforms?
Well, we're very close, so to call it a real setback is exaggerating a bit. I think we're definitely second, but by a very small margin. And of course, we're gonna, analyze what happened and draw conclusions about that. But the real important move in this election is the Green Party. The young people have really sent us a message about, the ecology, and so this is going to be the major force that we're going to have to analyze and think about. This issue is going to be a major issue in France after this election.
Good morning to you and welcome to the show. The Prime Minister, Edouard Philippe, says, "I greet this result with humility." What policy change, if any, will Macron be forced to make to perhaps make up for the ground that he's lost?
Well, we're a growing party. We're a very new party. So, of course, we're going to have to learn from every election. And so now we're just going to sit down, analyze where we've lost, where we disappointed some of the people who voted for us in the first turn of the election. But we were elected in the first turn of the presidential election with something that was not so far from what we got now. So we still have to build. We are a new party, as I just said, and we need to address issues in rural France that sent us a very strong message, and with the young, and we will be working on those issues.
And how will this impact Macron's push for tighter EU integration?
We have managed to do what we wanted in that regard, because the central group that we were trying to build will be strong, not as strong as the right group and the left group, but it will be a strong group, and it will be in a central position to be able to negotiate on laws. And this is what we were trying to achieve, and I think in a way we have achieved.
There's a lovely op-ed this morning written by Lionel Leron. He says, Macron's biggest problem ahead isn't Marine Le Pen, but it is the changing dynamics of the European institutions. Would you agree with that?
Well, this is what brought us to power, and it was very central to our core. So we are going to be working. That is really what one of the main points of our program is, to be a European party. So yes, it will be a major issue, and that's what we wanted anyway. We're going to be working on that issue.
I want to come back to the economic reforms, Anne. Will this give your party, Macron's party, more incentive to push on with economic reforms, or change what you prioritise in any way?
I'm not sure that's where the reforms will be growing. I think that definitely we're going to need to address a growing gap between the rural France and the France of cities. And that's something that we have clearly identified, and we will be working very much on that. More than economic reforms, it's more of a social set of reforms I think we're going to have to address.
And how does Macron and the party avoid a rerun of the Gilets jaunes debacle that the world has watched on a weekend-by-weekend basis for nigh on a year?
It's not a simple issue, as you know. There are very few people, but they can come and block Paris, and their numbers have been going down. So I think we're doing the right strategy for the moment, but it is very hard, especially for the people in Paris.